Hi everyone, so I'm back. So today's the big day, the day where we start to do the Dollarama bead embroidery kit, the toucan edition. So you could say this is making it for realsies craft edition. I'm making it so you don't have to, but you might want to. So as per my other video, I'm going to be starting the diamond painting / bead embroidery kit, even though it's not actually embroidery. That's what they call it, from Dollarama, although it was $3. I'm sure you remember all of this. So today's the day I'm going to actually start to do it. So a couple things I did to prep. I found a big sort of a crafty box. Actually, it was my daughter's, and you'll see, oh, what's in there, Suzanne? Something interesting. Yes, it is interesting because it is old rainbow looms, actually. So from crafting days long past. So there's some interesting little treasures in there. I used to make little rainbow loom rubber band bracelets. Those are always fun. So I found those. And then I found some other little charms. I guess my daughter made a little ducky. That's actually pretty cute. Something else. I think this is supposed to be like a unicorn or something. A little rainbow loom unicorn of all things. And it even has like a little mane. I thought that was super cute. And so, yeah, all kinds of treasures that sometimes you forget you had. And then you go and you find them and you think, oh yeah, I remember those days. Anyway, so I'm going to use this. I'm gonna get rid of the rainbow looms, obviously, because also one of my cats likes to eat rubber things. And so she's super bad. She actually was trying to get into this case locked. I realize it's not airtight, but still just the fact that she was trying desperately and she's coming back to get into it, to get the rubber bands was kind of insane. So she has issues, but we've talked about that. I think I made a video about it once upon a time. But yeah, so this is Sabrina. She's our broken kitty. And but we love her just the same. Anyway, those are my Halloween pumpkins. I got the best pumpkin ever. Maybe I'll do a special pumpkin edition, who knows? Anyway, so I'm gonna do a little bit of sorting. I thought I'd put, once I open this, I'm gonna sort out this. So I'm gonna get rid of this stuff in here and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. And Sabrina's back to help. So I just fixed up my little case and Kat decided to come and sit on it. So I looked at my box and it looked like there's 17 different bead colors. So I tried to make my compartments have 17 compartments, but I think I made 18 and then I had a few little dividers left over. I would show you, but my cat, as you can see, is looking at it herself. Anyway, I'll show you it later. So, but for now, let's get on to the good stuff here, which is actually the actual unboxing of the product here. I actually got out scissors because I feel so much more professional that way, like a real YouTuber, crafter person. So just looking in the box, so it comes with, so we got a little sheet. So it has like a sticker peel off thing that you're gonna peel it off. And then of course our color code. The fabric, it almost feels like a canvas actually, which is surprising, almost like a coated canvas. So that's actually a little bit surprising. I would have expected it to maybe just be like more papery or even plasticky. So that's kind of interesting. I just noticed my voice was doing something strange there, but that's okay. So as per our instructions and our contents list, we've got, oh, it even says fabric with adhesive overlay. So my bad for not reading that earlier. Okay, should not have been a surprise, wasn't still. But still, it was a pleasant surprise. Oh, the cat got off the thing, so I'm going to show you this. So I organized it, and then I have my extras down here. Yes, one of the few times I'm actually organized. Okay, so we had our fabric with the adhesive. We've got, hi Sabrina. I'm just going to cut this. So this is not a surprise. So this actually has a little, they're calling this the bead tray, but I guess you can just put like, I guess you could dump one color at a time in here. So I mean, that might even be a good idea too. And then it has like a little slot at the bottom. So I suppose you could dump them in. And then when I was done, I could dump them from there into my organization box. It's like my secret box. This is the stylus. And I've seen these before. I actually did like a kid's, what did they call it? Big gem painting. And it's like a demo at my work, because I work at a toy store. For those of you who know, you know, and those of you who don't know, that's fine, now you do. And we did a sample of these. And this was actually almost exactly the same sort of stylus, or the bead putter downer device. That's what they should call it. And then it has the little, this is the sticky stuff. This is like, it's almost like MAC tack, but not quite, like the poster tack. So what you do, essentially, and I mean, obviously we'll get into it further, but like you tap this into here, and this is like your glue, and that's what you use to actually pick up the bead and then apply it to your canvas. This isn't the sticky for the canvas, this is just sticky to help you pick up the beads. You could even use tweezers. I've heard people that use tweezers, so that might even also be an option as well, but I don't really have good craft tweezers. But again, I have 2 other kits to do, so maybe I'll do one kit with tweezers. Maybe I'll see what works better, what they give you in the kit versus what you kind of do it yourself at home. So anyway, and then they also give you the packet, obviously, with all the beads in it. I'm less inclined to cut this one just because I don't want to cut the bead bags by mistake. So each of the bead bags is individually packaged. Don't approve of the plastic waste, but I mean, I get it, right? What else are you going to do? You've got to separate your colors. So we've got, I don't know, like a leafy green. We've got a gray. We've got a dark green. We've got kind of an orangey yellow, yellowy orange. Which order do you prefer? We've got a lighter gray, so I'm gonna have to be careful to make sure those are separated, differentiated. A light blue, a pink, a dark blue, a red, I don't know what that face was, kind of a medium blue, a denim blue maybe. Another green, so I'm gonna have to see, that's kind of an intermediary shade of green. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter than the dark green, and it's very similar to the first green that I showed. So again, I'm gonna have to be careful for that. But it's kind of cool because then that just indicates like they're paying attention to detail, in my opinion, like for the shading and the gradients, you know, to make it have more depth. And I don't know if realism applies here, but more realistic. So I appreciate the shading. And again, like, so here's 2 more green, but these 2 almost look identical. So I'm thinking these are the same, because if this, I have a feeling this is going to be the background color. So that's going to take up a lot. I have a feeling that these might be the same shades of green. Maybe my eyes are just deceiving me. I have a very dark bluey green, or very dark greeny blue, again, depending on the order of things. Another of the yellowy orange. So I have a feeling, and then the red, and then a brown, and this looks like a dark blue. It's sort of an indigo. So I'm thinking some of them might just be doubles because you just need more of that color. Not so much that it's a mistake or that it's like, oh, we're going to fool you and think that you're actually getting more than you're actually getting or something. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna open these up and I'm gonna sort them out, and then we will carry on and we'll do a little bit of bead embroidery without the embroidery. Okay, so in the process of putting out my beads, I came across a couple of interesting little tidbits. I also got a different light because it's hard to see. It's kind of dark. The baggies are packaged. Each of the colors has a letter, and on the canvas, there's a letter corresponding with each. So this is color H. So, and then you probably can't see it on here, but each of those has a little, maybe you can, the letter of the color that you're supposed to do. So I might have inadvertently combined a couple, thinking and not realizing that they had printed the letters on here. So that was my bad, but I'll just have to be careful of the shading on those. So you want to make sure that you're keeping track of your letters and their corresponding colors. So there you go, live and learn. Lesson number 1. I learned from my mistake. I will not do that again. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, just looking at the quality of the beads. Now, I've never done like a real one of these, because I know you can buy these on Amazon and AliExpress and all those kinds of places. And I've never tried that, obviously. But I was just looking at the beads, and you probably can't see on here, but each of the beads, they're very teeny tiny, just little bits of plastic. One side is kind of flat, actually more dome shaped. So one side is flat, obviously that's the side that you're gonna wanna stick on your canvas. And then the top part, it almost has like itty bitty facets in it to give it that little bit of a sparkle. The plastic itself isn't so much shiny. like glittery shiny. Sparkly, I guess might be the word, because the plastic is shiny, but then the little facets kind of add to that and give it the sparkle, as opposed to having like little glitter sparkles, if that makes sense. And yeah, even if it doesn't make sense, that's how I'm describing it. So I'm gonna put that one back. So anyway, I think there's also square shaped beads as well as round shaped beads. These ones are all round. And again, never having tried like a proper big one, whatever, regular one, mainstream one, I don't know how this one is going to compare. So that might be something to think about down the road. If this is something that I feel like doing and want to get into a little bit more, then maybe I'll get like a proper kit and see how this one compares. But again, this is entry level, so I'm not expecting too much. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to peel off, this is the little adhesive gel wax that they call it. And it has like a little plastic protector on it. So I'm going to pull that off and hope that the cat doesn't eat it. Okay, and then I'm going to peel off my canvas, the stickiness. I'm going to start with something easy. I think I'm going to start, I don't know what's best. And I've never really thought about this, but I don't know if it's better to start with the big areas first or to start with small areas or start from the middle and work your way out. I don't really know what's best, so I'm just gonna kind of randomly do it. I'm gonna just start with the pink sections because it's nice, it's small, and I know that the pink ones are letter R and I won't have to worry about mixing up any colors. So this peels right off just like a sticker. I'm just gonna take the whole thing off. Again, I'm not sure if that's the best method, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my stylus and my gel. And you don't need a lot, and you don't have to get a new one every single time. That was kind of what I noticed when I did the other one, the kids one. I'm just getting stuck to it, so I'm wondering about that. Like if you touch it, like are you gonna be in trouble? So this you just kind of dab it, and then you get a little blobby on there. Not even a blobby of goo. And yeah, so then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come over and I'm going to pick up one of my pink beads, making sure that I've got it right side up. So here we go. So it's stuck to YouTuber, it's stuck to it. So I'm trying to make sure I've got the flat side down and then obviously the round side on top. And so I'm going to put that on one of the pink sections of the flower there. So you just basically find a pink spot and boom. So yeah, so I keep wanting, my hand keeps getting stuck to it. So maybe it's better, I don't know if you can leave the covering on, like the spots that you're not using. And then there, I have one pink bead right there. Ta-da! So yeah, so I'll do a couple more of those, or more than a couple, making sure I've got, so again, I didn't have to reapply my gel. And I've got my pink bead on here. So I'll just maybe put my hand more on the side. I'm also a little jittery because I've had a lot of coffee. And I had a latte. I had a caramel macchiato because I wanted something sweet. And I don't even know what that is, but it tastes good and it was sweet. So that worked for me. So there, so I've got like 3 beads so far on there. And yeah, you can kind of see where that is. So I'm gonna work on this for a little bit and then come back and show you some progress. So yeah. So here's what I've done in the last couple minutes, if that, so you can see. So I mean, it's not an exact science, right? I mean, like where the things end up. So I'm just gonna reach in here. Oops, sorry, I'm in the way. Reach in here, I'm gonna grab, oh, I grabbed 2, I don't need 2. So I grabbed my little bead. I'm gonna take it over here, I'm gonna find, where's an R? That you can see. Okay, where's an R? There's one right there. I'm trying to do this on the camera. So yeah, so it lands like that. So it wasn't perfectly in the middle, but I find, sorry for the jiggliness here, I can kind of scooch it if I need to within reason. I don't know about pulling it off and replacing it, like you can see, but you know, if I were more careful, it probably would have been better, but there is a little bit of leeway. I find that you can scooch this. And Cat wants to play too. Anyway, so that's fine. So that's so far so good. That's like, I don't know how long I've been doing this for, but it's fairly fast going. And then once you kind of get a rhythm going, it's pretty good. Okay, So I finished the light pink section, so you can kind of see what I've done there. So those are pretty small sections, so it didn't take me that long. So it just took me a few minutes to do. And I have beads left over, so their portions are pretty generous, which is nice. One little thing that I noticed that was sort of annoying, but I don't really see a way around it, is when you're trying to pick up the beads, like obviously some of them are going to be right side up, ready for you to pick up. Some of them are going to be flat side up. So you have to kind of go through and rummage through them to make sure they were all right side up before you grab them. Because you don't want to put them in flat side up. Otherwise, I don't think they'll stick very well. The other thing is it might actually be beneficial to use the little tray they gave you and just do one color at a time, rather than trying to do like, oh, I'm gonna skip around and do orange, and then I'll do yellow, and then I'll do a pink one, and then I'll do a blue one, and then I'll do an orange one again. And I think it's probably better to stick to one color, just dump them all in your tray, just boom, boom, boom. It might be a little bit more expedient that way, but you know, whatever, no big deal, that's minor. The other thing is, with the canvas being all sticky all over the place, when I was working here in the middle, I found that my hand would often get stuck down in this area here, like keep sticking to the canvas just inadvertently if I wasn't being careful. So I don't know if that's gonna affect the stickiness when I get down to this level, or if it's maybe better to work bottom to top, you know, because I was wondering, well, is it better to do color by color, inside to outside, outside to inside? Is there a rhyme or reason to it? I don't know, but I'm thinking, well, maybe in that case, going from bottom up would be better. And then that way you'd at least be covered with beads in that section, and then go up. I don't know. Because if you're still doing it one color, then that doesn't really help. So you'd have to do it different. Anyway, I'm not really sure yet. So that's something that I'll figure out as I go along. The other thing is, my cat was hanging out, and this is gonna sound kind of crazy cat lady-ish, but the other thing was, because it is sticky, there was some cat fur that got stuck on it, right? Because she was interested in it. So I had to pick off cat fur as best I could. And so again, don't know if that's gonna affect it, but yeah, so there's that. You know, same thing like if you're eating, like you don't wanna be eating chips because then you're gonna get chip crumbs stuck on it. And same thing with a little bit of the adhesive gel, because it is sticky. I dropped it at one point and then I got like floor debris on it, you know, like dust, crumbs, hair, whatever, for, you know, not that my floors are really dirty, but I'm just saying, if my floors were dirty, it would have collected the dirt. Yeah. So anyway, so there's a couple things to watch out for. Again, I don't know if that's gonna affect the stickiness factor. The gel isn't as important, I would say though, because it is just for picking up the bead, and like if you had to, you could probably use tweezers if your gel lost its stickiness. So does your chewing gum lose its flavor? That's the big question. Anyway, so far so good. I'm gonna finish this. I didn't time it, maybe I should, and see how long it takes me to do this. It's about 6 inches by 6 inches, so it's obviously not a big one. I've heard of people doing really large ones, like almost poster size ones. I don't know in that case, if you're doing a large one, this might be another thing to look into, if the beads are larger for larger canvases, or if the beads are always tiny regardless. The beads are constant, but the size of the image changes. So yeah, a couple things, but overall it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it and I'm looking forward to finishing it. It's kind of relaxing. It could potentially be tedious. You know, it's not for everyone probably, but I like it. And like once you kind of get in that rhythm of, you know, pick the bead, place the bead, pick and place, then you kind of get your rhythm, you kind of get going. So it's good. You know, like I could see it being good if you're, you know, anxious or just kind of need something to sort of focus your attention on something else for a while. This could potentially be good for it. I wouldn't recommend it for little kids, just because it is so tiny. They don't offer an age recommendation other than like over the age of 3 because it's a choking hazard. Duh. But I would say maybe older kids and up would enjoy it, even adults. So having said all that, that's my first impression. So I'm gonna finish it. I'm not sure how much of a progress report I'll do in between. For all I know, the next time you see this, it will be finished. I am gonna time it though, and at least approximately, so I know how long it takes to finish one. So starting from this point on, I'm gonna time the rest of it. So anyway, stay tuned.